Welcome to Midnight Curiosities. I'm Curator Raquel.
And I'm Curator War Beauty.
Coming at you live from the Rings of Saturn. Today we're going to be talking about crop circles.
Far out, man.
Far out indeed. That kind of fits. The Rings of Saturn and the circles in your fields.
It's almost like we're professionals.
Don't let them know we're not professionals. Nobody tell them. So, what do you know about crop circles? You heard of these bad boys?
Crop circles. Okay, so, hey, we're gonna do an episode on crop circles. Okay. Crop circles are a phenomena of very intricate patterns where fields of corn are lied down in a very specific way.
Do crop circles always happen in fields of corn only? I'm genuinely asking, I don't know.
I've never heard of them well, I think it could be any tall grass field.
Like a wheat field, right?
Yeah, it's wheat, isn't it? Maybe
it could be wheat. Wheat's
corn
easier to lay down than corn.
Anyways, so that's been our episode on crop circles. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. So what is a crop circle? You've heard of these before, I'm sure.
Right. I'm not the... Okay, that's a lie.
You're not the expert?
No, I was about to lie to everyone. Say
if you're not the expert, then we are so screwed.
No, I was about to lie and say I'm not the paranoid conspiracy theorist nutter, but survey said that.
Don't lie to our audience. Don't lie to the oddities.
I'm sorry. This is my sin. I'll repent now. So, crop circles, everyone thinks that they're an alien phenomena.
Aren't they?
What? You tell me. What do you think?
Here's what I know about crop circles. They're pretty. They're intricate. And more often than not, there's no signs of footprints or damage to the crops to get to the middle of the field. Most people, there's no trail of how they got there as if they were dropped from space into this circle or into this field and made the crop circle from within. There's no evidence of how they got in or out in most cases.
Right.
Yeah, man. So explain that. Like how, what are your theories for crop circles? How do you think they're made? What do you think they are?
Legitimately, the few times I do give crop circles any of my mental capacity, aliens, man.
Do you really believe that it's aliens?
Yeah, I don't not believe in aliens. Sure. I think it's arrogant to assume that we're the only people in this universe.
That is my exact mindset. We are a very, very small point on the cosmic scale. But why do you think that aliens would want to interact with us only to create pretty designs in our fields?
So I think that that's a really kind of archaic way of looking at it, because if you actually look...
Oh, sure, I'm dumbing it down on purpose.
Right, but if you look at crop circles, I mean, the original crop circles designs are very intricate. They're incredibly beautiful. They are very artful. But they are sigils, they're signs, they're symbols, and that's a primitive way of communication that ancient man had used before the creation of the spoken word, the written alphabet. What is the alphabet but intricate symbols?
Just symbols to understand something.
Right. So think of them more like runes, in a sense. I think that these are we're looking at an alien rune.
You think you're looking at an alien language?
Yeah, potentially. That could have 100 meanings.
So, if you're... if crop circles are a language... Stick with me here.
Okay.
That each design would have its own, phonetic meaning, in theory.
Right.
So do you think that these are just alien teenagers, tagging their initials on Earth?
Zip Zorp was here.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully.
It's the same concept of me just drawing, an R in the middle of a field, right? It's my sigil, it's my runic understanding of sound or language as I know it.
tagging that you were here.
Tagging, just teenagers graffitiing Earth with their crop circles.
I mean, I certainly hope that's what it is. What is the, I don't remember the archaeological site where they had those runes, and they couldn't translate them for the longest time, and then when they eventually did, it just said Halfdan was here.
I remember that.
Right, so crop circles could essentially be the alien equivalent of that. You know, we always want to ascribe a higher meaning to things, but it could just be Beep Bop.
Beep Bop. You think your ideal alien's name is Beep Bop?
I watch too much sci-fi. I'm really bad at making alien names.
Okay. Alright. Okay, so I was thinking we could talk about different crop circle theories of what people believe. And this would be a fun game. What if we just Google crop circle theories and respond to each one?
Okay. We are going to Google crop circle theories, and we're going to tell you guys on a scale of...
We're going to judge them.
Absolutely to not even kind of... I'm going to give you some nonsense science, too. Like, let me see if I can tell you, like, why science...
Well, can you tell me why a human couldn't have done these? Because that's obviously the most logical answer, is a person with some cardboard strapped to their feet knocking down wheat in a field. Why would you believe aliens over that?
You know, honestly, if a person with some cardboard strapped to their feet...
Made such a perfect and beautiful design.
They made that?
Right!
Good for you. Okay. Wherever you are, whoever you are.
It's too perfect for me.
You played us all. Thank you. That was well played.
Right.
Sir or madam. Alright, crop circle mystery.
Oh, they're so pretty.
I don't know. I understand humans are capable of really crazy things, but I think the fact that these literally showed up overnight...
They show up overnight. They show up all over the world.
Yeah, I don't think this is a dude with cardboard strapped to his feet.
They're inexplicably perfect. Because you can't map out the Earth like that just by standing on it. You would have to have some sort of higher ground or something.
Yeah, I think humans can recreate it.
Can you look at this image real quick? Did you see that?
I did.
Early crop circles, and it's just a circle.
That's more of a oval.
It is more of an oval.
It's like a squoval, like a square oval.
Alright, so this one says aliens.
I'm a big fan of that. Aliens.
Okay, here we go. Theories and explanations.
But yeah, what I was saying, I think humans can make beautiful crop circles. I just don't think they can do it overnight without being noticed. I think that's
and also without any evidence of getting in or out of the middle of the field.
Right. I think that's unreasonable expectation. Now, of course, there's someone out there laughing probably who went to their grave going, haha, I made all those crop circles.
That person, I hope they are flying high in whatever afterlife they believe in, because they have achieved godlike status in my mind. Alright, many theories as to what make a crop circle. One explanation in vogue in the early 1980s is that crop circles were accidentally produced by the especially vigorous sexual activity of horny hedgehogs. Gut check. How do you feel about that theory?
Horny hedgehogs, crop circles. It passes. I love that imagery. That horny hedgehogs just
in perfectly precise patterns.
Just these amazing love patterns of the hedgehog mating call.
Okay, some people have suggested that crop circles are somehow created by localized and precise wind patterns.
That could be, but I've never seen...
It's not as fun to believe.
I've never seen a wind that knocks specific crops down and then leaves the others standing. I've never known wind to be picky.
Molecular biologist Horace Drew suggests that the answer lies instead in time travel.
That could be.
It could be one person, but he can't do it overnight, like you said.
Well, so here's what's interesting about time travel. It actually is possible, and they proved it's possible. Here's what they haven't proved is that we could not theoretically go back to the time of, say, the Romans. So we can't go watch the crucifixion. You know, we can't go and watch the pyramids be built. Because wormhole generation only sends you back to the point of origin of the wormhole. So if you generate a wormhole now, you can go forward and then go backwards, and of course it's more complicated than that. You're never going to go further back than the moment that wormhole was generated.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. But they did prove time travel was possible with wormholes. We should do a
time travel episode.
We should.
I'll add that to the list. Let's see. Alien life.
I think it's aliens, personally.
He's decoded crop circle symbols and that they contain messages such as believe, there is good out there. Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. And we oppose deception. All of which came in English, by the way. So he's saying that it's like a codex, right? And you have to like look at the crop circles and piece them together because it's a puzzle that spells out all of these different things that aliens are saying in English.
See, I don't think it's that intricate, but I will say, I mean, if this is alien life, I do think that this could potentially be some form of communication with symbols. So I think that theory is honestly the most plausible, but not in the way that they said it.
A lot of people think that aliens physically make their patterns with spaceships. Energy beams. Everyone believes in energy beams.
I mean, it's a thing.
It's pretty sci-fi. And then there's the theory that it's a human.
Just some dude.
Yeah, circles, nocturnal creation, camera shyness. Crop circles have never been recorded being made. This is a very suspicious trait, after all. Okay, explain to me the logic of this sentence right here. This is a very suspicious trait. After all, if mysterious earthly forces or aliens are at work, there's no reason to think they wouldn't happen to have cameras. They wouldn't happen when cameras are recording. Wouldn't you think that they would specifically try not to be?
Well, here's the thing, is if you want to do a mass scientific experiment, we can just put cameras on every field in the whole world.
I mean, we could.
And if crop circles...
Are crop circles still a thing? Are those still happening?
I think so. And if they don't happen anymore...
That would be wild.
Then we know that they're camera shy. And if they do happen, well, then the footage is probably going to be too fuzzy to watch, or, you know, the power's going to go out.
Well, obviously. It seems like crop circles were a really big thing in the 80s. Oh, no. No, they're still happening.
Right, I think they're still happening. I just think people care less.
I still care. Fear not, listeners, I still care. That's what we're here for. Okay, so, we've discussed the different theories about how crop circles are made.
Sure.
Did we discuss what we think they mean?
Yeah, they're a language symbol. They're just a massive communication effort. You know, what was interesting I saw in those theories was they hinted that, or they didn't hint, they said that one of the explanations was they were possible ley line activity.
I did skip over that because I didn't know what that meant.
Okay, so ley lines are natural conduits of magic in the earth. So that's also sacred places.
Throwback.
Are typically on ley lines. And that's where...
Is a crop circle a sacred space?
Well, that's... I could consider it such, but we would need more data collection, I think.
Do you think that we could locate a crop circle, buy a plane ticket, and go visit it?
Probably.
What happens to crop circles after they're recorded? Do they disappear overnight, too? Or do they stay there forever?
No, I think that they're just there.
Wouldn't the crops grow back over?
Well, right. I mean, I don't think that they're there permanently forever. Sure, the field will eventually grow back from the damaged whatever was smushed.
Smush.
How mad would you be if you're a farmer and that's your livelihood? Right. Half of it is just smushed for some intricate pattern.
Would you blame the local teenagers or would you scream at the sky?
I mean, I don't like neighbors, so both.
You don't like neighbors.
I do not like neighbors.
Okay, so why are they always circles? If these if these beings are pressing their intentions into our crops, why are they always circles? Not all of our language symbols look the same. Not all of our anything looks the same.
So here's where you're going to
Why don't we get triangles?
Here's where you're going to reach the fringe of War Beauty's magical knowledge, because, fun fact, I have dyscalculia, and I understand it, but I don't understand it well enough to explain about the mathematic symbology behind different shapes. And circle is a very sacred shape. I mean, there are other sacred shapes as well, but circle has specific meanings.
Next episode.
And, numerology and, math being this holy thing.
But they don't show up in the kind of numerology that we know of. They don't show up in 3s. They don't show up in 9s.
No, but they show up as, say, like Fibonacci sequence. They show up as patterns, as repeating patterns that are very intricately detailed. And again, this is about, I understand it, but I don't understand it well enough to explain it to you, because
okay, that's fine.
I'm going to dyscalculia the heck out of that.
Yes, you will.
But that's ultimately kind of what it's evoking, is a sort of, it's not invoking that Rorschach's, the ink blot thing. It's not invoking that. It's invoking more of a Fibonacci.
Here's
vibe.
my theory. I just made it up.
All right, I love it.
I think that the Earth itself is making its crop circles.
Could
and
be.
Instead of an external force pushing down on it, I think the Earth is sucking it in.
For what purpose?
Body modifications.
That's true. If we believe the Earth is a living soul, it would be entitled to its own body mods.
Exactly. It's just cool tattoos on Mother Earth.
Okay, I'm not mad at it. I don't think it has any scientific
just
merit.
Made that up.
But okay. I don't absolutely, utterly despise that. I don't know, what do you guys think about crop circles?
Why crop circles is what I want to know. Just why crop circles?
Because crops and circles.
Okay, so my question is, why do, if the answer is aliens, like you say it is, why do they only tag crops? Because if you think about how a human graffitis things, they tag everything that they can possibly find.
That's true. Humans do make phallic symbols on
Everything.
Everything.
You can find on walls and bridges and
on
everything.
crops.
So why are the aliens only doing it on the crops?
Well, who said that they're... Well, that's just it. I don't think that they're only giving us messages and signs through crops. I think if you want to really explore the alien aspect of that, you have to be open to the idea that crops is one of the most instantaneous ways to get our attention, and one of the best open field, like open free land ways to communicate with large symbology. But why are we assuming crop circles are the only things that are unexplainable alien phenomena? I mean, there's plenty of conspiracy theories out there.
Well, sure, there's plenty of alien phenomena. I'm just trying to figure out why crop circles.
Well, if you go with aliens, then I don't... It's just crop circles. I think that there are a plethora of other things that they're doing to communicate and send messages to us. But crop circles is going to be the most instantly sensationalized because they're large, they're crops.
They're mysterious.
They're mysterious. You know, we can't explain it away as, oh, well, somebody just decided to paint these weird alien symbols on the top of the Pentagon.
I don't think we gave enough credit to the horny hedgehogs.
Okay.
It could be horny hedgehogs.
Well, if you think about, here's some let me give you
Hedgehogs are
some
quite small.
some dumb science that doesn't have any merit at all.
Fake science.
But here's some fake science for you. But it might prove crop circles, so we don't know.
If it proves crop circles, then it's real science.
Right. So if you think a crop is a plant,
yes.
right, okay, everyone's tracking. Plants have roots. So what if the roots were manipulated
You think worms made crop circles?
No, I don't think worms made crop circles, but it's to the horny hedgehog idea.
Sure.
But something under the ground manipulated the root system in an intricate pattern. So under the crops, you would find that the roots or whatever were manipulated in the same pattern by some sort of underground phenomena, some underground creature.
Do you think it's possible, instead of one person smushing crops with cardboard under their feet, do you think that a person could map out these patterns and pour, like, weed killer or, like, crop killer pesticides or whatever all over it so that it would die in a specific pattern, but it would seem to happen relatively overnight?
So that's fascinating, because now you're talking about a widespread farmer conspiracy where they all have this secret Illuminati message board, and they just get on and they teach each other how to make crop circles, and then they all lie. And they're just like, man, I don't know where these crop circles came from, but they all know
because
before
once
they
you
plant
do
the field.
That's when their crops get so popular. They get a big name for their little farm. Is when something mysterious happens on it. Ooh, we cracked the code.
Right, the Farmer Illuminati is about to come and
shoot
get
out
us.
the door.
They're about to come get us.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting.
It's
But
certainly...
do you have to pour? Can't you just pour like acid on plants?
Well, you would see signs of damage, and one of the poignant things of crop circles is there is no sign of damage other than the crops being laid down.
Right.
So if
It
you
would have to be in the ground itself, but then the crop wouldn't grow there.
maybe, again, Farmer Illuminati conspiracy, maybe they have a secret message board where they have this recipe and they create these patterns before planting. So the crop grows and it doesn't hurt the crop.
Maybe they have very specific crops that they've invented that die all at a very specific time.
Right, and they just have to plant them in a very specific pattern. It seems rather expensive, time-consuming, and intricate, but if that's what farmers want to do, I'm not mad at it. You know, more power to the Farmer Illuminati.
All right, listeners, you have your mission for this week is to ask your local farmer their theories on crop circles, and please send us all of your theories, because I certainly want to know. We have to answer this mystery.
For reference, for any of you who are actually going to go ask your local farmer,
please ask your local farmer. This is not a joke.
Let me tell you. So I watched Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Of course you did.
That movie, you guys, it's not good, but it's so good. I was like, I missed this day in history class, and I'm so sad. But afterwards, so I went to Washington, D.C. because I live in the area, and that is when I went to the Abraham Lincoln Memorial.
I love Lincoln.
And I went inside the gift shop, and I asked them about the secret documents.
You asked them about it.
I asked them where Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter's cool axe gun combo vampire hunting.
Oh my god, what did they tell you?
They just kind of tried to pretend I didn't exist. So expect that if you ask your local farmers.
No. They're trained to keep these secrets. Don't stop. You gotta pry the information out of these guys.
It's like Area
52 is about crop circles.
Yeah.
Area 51's about the aliens. They know what they're doing there. But Area 52 is what the aliens do when they're making crop circles.
Or the Farmer Illuminati.
Please investigate the Farmer Illuminati and let us know. If you guys come up with something good, we'll do a follow-up episode to this.
If you are a member of the Farmer Illuminati, you can reach out to us.
And you should. We can have you as an anonymous guest.
Absolutely. Please send us all of your files and recordings. We will absolutely feature this.
All right. Well, I am curator Raquel.
I have been.
I have been, and I am.
I'm about to become part of the nameless Farmer Illuminati.
I'm curator Raquel.
And I'm curator War Beauty.
Midnight Curiosities is hosted by One Eye Oddities, a new way to see magic. Join us next week for another look into the mysterious world that we live in. And as always,
Become an oddity.